Hello, 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 my loves. Welcome back to Transform. I am so excited to dive into today's episode. I have River with me. I'm cozied up. I have crimped hair. I'm ready to jump in. This episode means a lot to me, and I was really excited to see how many of you were also really excited about this topic of embodiment. And I had a lot of questions come through of what is embodiment? What does that mean exactly? How do I be embodied? And I loved that came through because I want to say first and foremost, this is not something that I knew how to do, but the best part is we are all already doing it. We all have access to it. It's just the awareness is the most important part that we're missing and that I was missing. And I think what's so important here for me to share is I love this platform of a podcast to be able to come on here and talk about these things that I am diving into less as an expert and someone who's experiencing for the first time myself, and then gets to share my story and my truth in that rather than as someone who maybe has studied this and is an expert in it. So I feel really grateful if you have turned on this episode. I always say that it's pretty awesome that you're saying yes to yourself in these ways, because this episode specifically is you saying, I want to know myself more. I want to be more in my body. I want to be less in my mind. It's saying something's not working here and I want to try different solutions and ways. And I'm so excited to invite you into this space to jot down anything that does connect or feels like it resonates with you. This is a journey that we are all on. I am on it with you. The journey of self, the journey of discovery, the journey of connecting to the most important relationship, which is the one with ourselves. And that's what I will say first and foremost. The journey of embodiment is, again, accessible for all of us, and what it means. And you can also come up with your own definition as time goes on, but it means literally being in your body, feeling in your body. We as a society live so much in our mind. We think with our mind. We try to make things way more logical and way more from a mind place. But I believe that we came here with such a purpose to feel. We're feeling humans. We're soul humans. And so when we try to think so much with our minds, I think that's when we get caught up in this spiral, or we get stuck, or we get frustrated of why we can't solution-base something, or why we are continuing living the same patterns. And that was exactly what was happening to me, and why I dove into, okay, the mind isn't working, so what's another option? And I found this embodiment work. I first figured out this embodiment work, which means getting into my body. And actually, I want to start with an exercise. If you're listening, I think it would be important for us to actually understand what that feels like, and then we can dive into the episode. So if you're not driving right now, if you're not behind anything that needs your eyes open, I would love if you just stepped into this little exercise. It will only take a couple minutes. And this is going to allow you to access and see that we all have the ability to be in our bodies. So go ahead and find a nice seated or standing position. And I want you just to let your breath just exist and be exactly where it's at right now. And maybe it's more in your chest. Maybe it's in your belly. Paying attention if it's shorter breaths, longer breaths. Maybe you actually feel like you're holding your breath a little bit. And I want you to also feel what sensations are going on in your body. And the biggest thing is your mind's going to try and figure out, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? We have so much to do. And I want you just to continue to bring it back to the direction I'm giving you, which is to tap into the body. Where are you feeling some sensations? It could be your feet on the ground. I feel a little warmth, or I feel a little tingly in my shoulders, or I feel tightness in my jaw. And wherever you do feel that, I want you to think of sending love and light to that place. Or you could also touch that area like you're touching and giving someone a hug. You just hold it. I love to hold my jaw when my jaw is really tight. And you can just thank this part of you for showing up, this moment of you just connecting with your body. Just thank it for that time and that moment. And the mind will just come back on and saying, hey, I need to talk to you again. And that's okay. And when you're ready, you can come back into my voice, into the podcast, into this moment. And what we did exactly right there, nothing crazy. It was witnessing our body. It was witnessing and connecting to the sensations within our body that exist all day long. So we have sensations happening, we have feelings happening, but the thing for us as humans is we have gotten so good at separating ourselves from our bodies that we don't even know our shoulder is having feelings and tinglings until it's in severe pain. Or we don't know that our jaw is hurting until we have TMJ, and then we're really having to discover what's going on. And again, the only reason I can talk about this subject is because this is the work that I have been doing, because my body was speaking to me and saying, hey, I really need you to listen. I really need you to understand that I just want to connect to you so that you could make more decisions that are intuitive in this world, that you can heal certain areas in your life so you can be more expansive and have more space to live the best life you're meant to live. I want you to do this work and connect to the body so that you can connect more to the divine and hear what I'm trying to tell you. And the reason why I think it's so hard for us to do this, one, it's very uncomfortable at times, because when you connect to the body, there's so much joy and goodness that comes through. Think of when a breeze on your face hits California. I think we have the best breeze in the world. And when you're driving in your car and you have that breeze that hits your body and the windows are down and you're like, this is the purest joy I could ever feel. You feel those types of moments when you're in your body, and that's the embodiment we all love. The hard part and why we detach from embodiment is because of the hard feelings that come through. The disgust, the shame, the sadness, the ickiness that comes through in our body and says, all right, we also have these emotions. And us as humans, because we were not taught, we go, I don't want those emotions. Those don't feel good. This must be wrong. Let me go to my mind, who's going to now give me thoughts and try to solution base why I'm having these feelings and how we will never feel them again. And that is how we dissociate. That is how we remove ourselves from our bodies. And how I discovered this is when I was younger. We all have traumatic events that happen. They can be very small or very large. And our bodies do this beautiful thing of wanting us to survive in the world. The number one thing our bodies are trying to do for us is make sure that we are surviving. Or I should say this again. The number one thing our minds are doing for us is making sure we survive in this world. When I learned that, so much made sense. Why our thoughts are going 24/7, why our minds are on alert all the time, is because their number one goal is to make sure we survive. So with that being said, if you have traumatic events that happen when you're younger, again, it can be you got bullied in school. It could be you had an abusive family at home. It could be, you had an embarrassment that your teacher did with you in class. It really could be the spectrum of things. But no matter what, if you had something traumatic that was too overwhelming for your system to handle, what happens beautifully is that our minds take over and they're saying, this is too much. Again, we all have them. They all happen. We all deal with trauma. It's just really where our system goes into an overwhelm and it can't handle it. So when it can't handle it, it goes into different forms of states to make sure that we can survive. So it goes into shutdown, which is like freeze. It can go into fight or flight. It can go into fawn. It goes into all of these different states, not to make our lives harder. It actually goes into these states to really look out for us and to say, this situation is too much for the system. So we're actually going to go into fight or flight, freeze, fawn. Thing that I think all of us as adults that are now stepping into is we want to actually be able to be with ourselves and be with our bodies. And we don't want to live in that fight or flight. We actually want to be able to handle these overwhelming emotions that maybe we didn't get to, or we didn't have the capacity to handle when we were younger. That is why I think as like a freaking planet right now, we are all tapping into this work, because I think that there is this energy that everyone is really over not being in their body. Everyone is really over being in these same patterns and these same cycles that aren't actually living, they're surviving. And again, our body is doing the absolute most for us. Our minds are doing the absolute most for us. But there is this energy of us wanting to live our best lives and us wanting to actually do the work to feel safe enough with these emotions, with our bodies, to live our most authentic lives. So that's why I'm just going to pause and say how proud I am of you and how capable you are to do this work. And I hope that I am a glimpse of that for you, because I was definitely hopeless at times, thinking that I would never get out of this brain cycle of these really intense thoughts, like these really hard, brutal thoughts of just, this is my life. Like, this is how it's going to be. This is how you are. And I will say at a moment, I think I really did accept it. I was like, okay, this is what it is. But when I was in my most, had those glimpses of my most centered self, I knew this wasn't where I was supposed to be thriving. I knew this wasn't what life was supposed to be for me. And I also felt like I was in a place in my life that I actually could take the steps to embody and endeavor on the emotions that I wasn't capable of taking on when I was younger. And now I understand why. Like, to feel a lot of the things that we went through when we were younger, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense why we needed to shut down. Like, understood. That was very overwhelming for the system. And if we didn't have parents or people around us to know how to also regulate themselves or how to hold space for these big emotions, we were all in survival. And I also give so much. I just want to say this. My heart goes out to the parents of the world, because I think that they were doing the best that they could too. So now I feel like it's our job to say, okay, I feel very called to not survive. I feel very called to thrive. And I know that that is accessible to me. Here is a step to do that. Getting into our bodies, being able to hold space and sit with these very big emotions. Let me say this. It is going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be hard. It is not going to feel nice. And this is where the work lies. And this is where the community, I just want you to say to you, like, I'm holding you right now in that, because you have to sit with it. Just like you sit with joy and sit with happiness and sit with positivity, you do have to sit with these other emotions. You don't have to sit with the traumatic experience. You don't even have to remember the traumatic experience. But when you do this embodiment work where I just showed you, let's connect to, the body, and your jaw starts to hurt, and then you hold your jaw and you ask your jaw, what are you trying to show me? And it says fear, or it says I'm scared, or it says I'm not worthy. Being able to hold space for that voice coming through, instead of shunning it away, shaming it, being disgusted with it, not being able to handle it, instead being able to say, I see you. Oh my gosh, I love you. It's okay. I'm so sorry that you feel that way. Because this part of, and I'm just going to give the example of the jaw, is an emotion you have felt in the past that wasn't able to be processed then because it was too big. But if you say, I'm not going to abandon you when you come up with this emotion, and I'm going to sit with you. And if you need to cry, if you need to yell, if you need to be held, I'm just going to do that for a couple of minutes. And my hand is over my heart if you're watching the video right now, because this is all of the real stuff that our self just needs from us and that we were not taught. But it needs that moment, that true moment of you saying, I see you, and it's okay that you're showing me this side of you. It's okay that you're showing me that that really hurt and you have pain there. There's this like TikTok that's coming to my mind, and it's a voiceover, and the sound is sit with it, sit with it, sit with it. And it keeps saying that because we, again, sit with these happy emotions. But if we can't also embody and sit with these other emotions, we don't have to have the solutions. We don't have to have the answers. We don't have to understand them in the sense of what happened. But if we can actually welcome them in and saying, I love you, it's okay, and hold your hand over your heart and just be there with them, what's going to happen is yourself is going to see it is safe to be all of me. It is safe to be here. It is safe to be in this body that I have. And then when that happens, you're going to get so good at being able to hold space for all that life is, for all the things that are within you. And then you have pure access to the divine. You have so much access to this internal vessel that we all have communication with. We've just like covered it up with so much mud that we haven't been able to hear it. But when you break down these emotions, when you break down and hold space for all that's on top of this voice, this beautiful voice inside of you right now, if you are listening, it is already inside of you. It is already within you. You will be able to hear it so clear. And you won't be able to resist it because it's going to be that good. It's going to be that good. I want you to think of a moment where you made a decision that felt like a full body yes. And just trust whatever first comes to your mind. This is a thing that we do too. We doubt the first thing that comes to your mind. I just want you to trust it. That's like an exercise I would give you too. Just trust whatever comes to your mind first. And whatever visual or feeling you felt when you made this full body yes, I want to show you that we have made those decisions in our lives with our full bodies without maybe the full awareness. But there was something about that decision that we were like, okay, I actually felt very calm there. I felt maybe this like tingle of energy. I felt love. I felt hope. I didn't have the mindset of what if it doesn't go right? I had the mindset of what if it all goes right? So thinking of that situation, that is what we are trying to connect to and what we are trying to embody way more than we are right now. Now we're still going to, pendulum back and forth of being out of our body and in our body, and that is just the human experience. So I don't want to say that you'll always just be living in this pure embodiment. But I want to show you that you have made decisions with full embodiment. You have already done it. It could be as small as picking what you want for coffee. That with a full body yes is you being embodied. Another example of being embodied is when you're talking to someone. Think about someone when you speak to them, you're giving them your full presence. Could be a friend, could be your dog, could be your partner. But when you talk to them, you're like fully in your body. Or even when you listen to a podcast, maybe there's a certain person when you listen, you feel like there's nothing else going on in the world. You're in that moment. That is you being embodied. That is you being in your body, not at any other time in the past, the future. You're in the present moment. And being present is being in your body. I'm going to share with you guys some of the tools because I think this is really important for you to be left with exercises and tools of how to get into your body. And reminder, everyone can do it and everyone is already doing it. This isn't for specific people. This is for everyone on the planet. So these are some of the tools and exercises that I have learned from my somatic teachers. I also highly recommend learning from them. This is just me as a student sharing with you. I am not an expert or a professional. I am Sami sharing them with you. Okay, so some of my favorite, and not the same ones work for everyone. So I want you to pick, I'm going to give a couple choices, and I want you to pick one that you feel really connects to you. And you can try them all out and then play with them. I also want to say this. Doing these tools are not always going to be comfortable. And I want to say that like in bold, because I think that we can believe, and myself included, that things that are good for us always feel good. But think about when you go to the gym for the first time, sometimes you're like, if it's that first day, your resistance is already there. It's like, oh, is this really going to work? I don't think this is doing anything. I actually hate this. Okay, should I go on my phone? The distractions, the resistance, they're all there. So just know change is uncomfortable for the body. What does it want to do? The mind wants to survive. So it likes familiar. It hates change. It hates change. The mind hates change. So the more that we can just be aware of that is going to allow this experience to be less scary and less feeling like we're doing it wrong. It also takes consistency. So consistency is very important. Just like when you go to the gym, you don't walk out and all of a sudden you're jacked. You have to consistently go to the gym, get the reps in to see the results. The same is with this work. You can't do it once and say, why am I not better? All right, my loves. Here are some of my favorite exercises. The first one I'm going to do is orienting. So this one is for kind of being familiar with your space. And what we are doing here is, again, how we are not embodied is if we're living in the past or we're living in the future. If we're living in the present, we are in our body. So how do we get in the present? This exercise, orienting, is going to showcase that. So you can do it with me if you're not, again, driving. And what you're going to do is you're going to look around the room that you're in at a very slow and mindful pace. So if I look to my right, my eyes are going to go to my right. I'm going to look at the wall. It looks like a very familiar white wall, but now I'm seeing that there's some scratches on it. There's some gray spots. Then I'm going to my curtains. And I'm just slowly making my way around the room, but I'm being so particular of what I'm seeing, like I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm not just like, oh, there's the white wall, there's the curtains. I'm looking so deeply at the little things all around the room. And you can even move your head, like really move your head and start to see what's behind you, what's next to you from left side, right side. And you're doing it at a very slow, controlled space. And what's going to happen here is the mind, again, is going to maybe come in and say, hey, we have better things to do. Hey, what about this? And this is where I want you to just keep bringing it back. You're just going to keep bringing it back to what you're doing. Okay, I'm looking at this dresser. It has some nice like wood. Oh, it kind of has some gray in it, a little bit of cream. Like I'm really looking at the room. And what that is doing is bringing you into the present moment. So it's bringing you into your body. And what you're going to witness after you do it is if you asked yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 of where I'm at on the scale of being like not in my body, meaning like, okay, my heart is racing. I kind of want to leave. I'm at a 10. What you're going to see is naturally while you start orienting, your body is going to start to, maybe your shoulders come down. Maybe you take a big breath. Maybe you see your eye gaze starts to get a little softer. Maybe you swallow. Maybe you start to see that your neck opens up. These are all little signs that you are getting into your body. These are all signs that your body is calming down and coming back into itself. Another tool I'm going to share with you, it's one of my favorites. I shared it on my Instagram and it's a VU sound. So think about when we are younger, we have like our moms or our parent will hold us and they'll rock us and they'll usually hum or shh. You guys, all of this doesn't happen for no reason. The reason that that works is that's calming down our systems. So another one that I love is the VU sound. So you'll take a big inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, you'll make truly like a VU noise. So it'll be like this. Everyone hold your horses. It sounds like a cow. Ready? It goes VU. And you'll do it until all of the air is out. You can do it. I like to do it like 3 times in a row. Same thing. After I do the VU, even if it's a hair of a notice that I feel my body come down 1 notch, because what happened when I just did that is I'm getting into my body. I'm also giving my body a vibration through that VU that the body is coming into the present moment. It's calming down. It's coming into a more regulated state. You can even hear it in my voice. Like I'm starting to calm down. And this is the little things that I want you to write down after you do them. So after you do these tools every single day, I set 4 alarms that go off in my day, especially in a busy work day, that I'll do these exercises. And there's no shame in not being in a regulated state at all times. We are actually not meant to be in a regulated state at all times. So I just want to say that very firmly. When you do pause with that alarm, that moment is to allow you to get back into your body, just in case maybe you have a meeting and you needed that sympathetic energy. That's okay, but let's come back into our bodies instead of like flying away. And so these alarms are so helpful for you to notice and have your body notice, oh, this is what it feels like to be in my body, and I'm actually safe to do so. And that comes with time. That comes with practice. That comes with you actually showing your body it is safe to, or you showing yourself it is safe to be here in this body. So those are some of my favorites to do at any time of the day: the orienting, the VUing, and I'm going to give you the last one, which is a wonder walk. I learned this from Sarah Baldwin. It's literally you go outside, similarly what I just shared of orienting in the room, you're orienting on your walk, which I feel like if you're a form girly, you walk the talk. Like you love to walk, so this is for you. You're going to walk outside for however long you walk, and you're going to orient to your space, but look at things like you're seeing it for the first time. So you're going to look at a flower and you're going to see the purple flower, but you're going to see what shades of purple are in it. Oh, it kind of has a lavender shade, and then it's darker in the center, and then it has some dots in the middle. Then you're going to smell it. Then you're going to feel it. And right then and there, you're coming into the present moment. And it's not like all of your thoughts and maybe everything that you've been struggling with or the pain is just going to go away. It's the fact that those little steps are showing yourself that it is safe to be in this present moment and with this body. So whatever emotion or thing it wants to bring forward, you actually have the capacity and the nervous system to hold space for it, to move through it, to see it, to love it, to reparent it like we haven't been able to. My loves, I'm so grateful for this work that I have been tapping into, because I know what it feels like to not feel okay, to not feel like you're ever going to get better, to feel like, is this what life is all about? And I will continue talking about this subject because I am on this healing journey that we are all on, and I think we're forever on. But these tools, actually, I want to say first, I promise you, if no one has told you yet, I promise you, you are not alone. I promise you that you will be okay. I promise you that your body and your mind love you so much. I promise you that I love you so much. I promise you that I'm here for you, that this community is here for you. And that if you need to listen to this episode 4 times to let it digest, just giving yourself the grace and love that you are absolutely capable, because your body has just worked so hard to allow you to survive in this world, but now it's ready to thrive, and it is absolutely here for you, and you are absolutely capable, and you are absolutely strong enough, and you are absolutely able. So I love you. I am so grateful for you allowing me to open up and share this part of my healing journey and work that I am doing. And I just want to tell you that the way that I feel in my body and the way that I can hear my truth, the way that I can connect to the divine that we all have access to, the way that I move and flow through life, it is a place that I dreamed of. It is a place that I am continuing to work on and tap into, but it is the best feeling on the planet. And it is so beautiful to connect to yourself in the ways where you get to hold space for all of the beautiful emotions, all of the really hard ones, and say, I love you even more. Now that I know you even more, now that I see you even more, now that I can hold space for all that is even more, I love you even more. And this is how we expand as humans, and this is how we expand in finding our life partners. This is how we expand in following the careers we're meant to have. This is how we find our purpose. This is how we live our passions. And it is all right here for us. I love you. Please DM me if you enjoyed this episode. I'm so here to chat more about this. Look at the resources that I shared with you. Again, these incredible experts and coaches that I still work with religiously because they've changed my life. And let me know in the comments if this is an episode that you liked, or maybe something from the episode that I can take that you want to dive more into. I am so here to look and just share this experience with you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you with my whole entire heart, and I will see you in the next Transform episode.